Hi, all. Welcome to the first edition of SMTV, I guess, which really is just a YouTube video right now of me ranting and raving. That's pretty much how it works. Thanks so much, by the way, for everyone checking out Sports Mashup and the new site, sportsmashup.com, powered by you, the fans, and picked up on the fan-sided blogging network. They did a great job in setting this thing up for me. And I highly recommend you check out not only the content, and thank you for that on Sports Mashup, but obviously around the fan-sided network as well. You think I would dress up for this, but it's Monday, and no. So I haven't shaved. I put on the hat, and I'm talking into my late night with David Letterman / Conan O'Brien / Jay Leno microphone that I've acquired. So good stuff, I know, all the way around. I don't know what we're going to call this. Maybe the Storm Cloud Rants, since at least those listeners up in the 801 used to call me that. And today I'm just a little annoyed by all the coverage and everything that's going on with this whole bounty situation in the National Football League, which, of course, many of you know that have at least been on this site or used to listen to me. That is my sport. I am a football diehard, and I do not like anybody messing with my sport. To me, this whole thing is a PR campaign, a continued, basically, I guess I want to call a situation that Roger Goodell has basically brought up in his effort to, quote-unquote, clean up the game. I have a memo for Roger Goodell, and I think he really needs to sit there and really look at this and say, you know what, your game is violent, and it's always going to be violent, and it's one of the reasons why many of us watch this sport. It's one of the many reasons why it is the most popular sport in our country by far. It's because people like to see train wrecks. They like to see big hits. That's just the reality of the sport. Now, is the bounty situation something that's pretty stupid? Yeah, it is. But here's the deal. You know, watch anything on ESPN or listen to the radio or whatever and listen to these former athletes or former NFL players. It's gone on for years. This is not something that's abnormal by any situation. And I'm sorry, whether it's a bounty or no bounty, players are still going to put big hits on players. It's just a reality. And the big thing I just amused by this is because one of the parts of the game is to put players out of the game. And if any of you, that have played the game, I hate going to that card, but back in my wonderful Pee Wee years, we used to get helmet stickers for big hits. That was back in Pee Wee football, let alone when you move up into the high school ranks and college and, now in the pros where they actually put incentive out supposedly for bounty, incentives to actually hit these players. It's just the way the game is. And to me, again, it's a whole PR campaign for Goodell to basically address the violent nature of the sport, the fact a lot of these athletes are taking years off their lives playing this sport, and I think to appease those in the fan base that do think the game is too violent, although I think it's very, very small part of the fan base, and probably more than anything is the overall perception of the sport and the advertisers that it draws in, because advertisers in the end don't want to be quote-unquote advertising in a barbaric sport, but that's the way it is. That's the reality. And as soon as Roger Goodell just faces that, the sooner they'll move on. They've really made a bigger deal out of this than I think is necessary. Obviously Greg Williams is going to come down hard. The Saints are going to pay for this big time since they obviously knew about this. NFL is going to want to send a message, but it's going to continue to go on and on and on. Don't tell me as a fan, I know I was a fan as my mighty Jets when they would play the Dolphins back in the day. There's no doubt I wanted Jets defenders, the Mark Gassinos, the Joe Kleckos of the world, to take Dan Marino out. Did that mean I want a serious injury in him or on him that would take him out for the rest of his career? Well, kind of, but I'm just kidding. No, honestly, no. I just want him out of that game. And I think a lot of fans, if you really sit down and admit to yourself, you would like to see the same thing when your favorite team goes up against a marquee player. So even if you take this bounty system away, and for some reason it does result in teams not putting money out on players, it's still going to go on. It's just the way it's been, in the course of football. So as soon as Roger Goodell just admits that, and obviously takes care of this, just stop it. It's a violent game. We love to watch it partially because of that. And so just leave our sport alone, Roger. Otherwise, the ratings may actually go down someday. Not in the, I think, realistic future, but eventually. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Again, thanks for checking out sportsmashup.com and SMTV. And if you ever have any suggestions, please feel free to get in touch with us. Just go to the Contact Us tab and check it out. Thanks again.